This particular scene has quickly become a popular trend. The American president is portrayed as not normal, or rather, he is depicted as not fully human. Not only does he closely observe world leaders and celebrities, but he also focuses on the intricate details that matter. Do not merely listen to their speeches and catchy slogans. Instead, pay careful attention to their actions, expressions, and eyes. In the universe, there are humans and non-humans. Some beings are aliens, while others include robots and reptilian creatures. This is what has been spreading on social media recently. No, this is definitely not a simulation from a science fiction movie. It is, in fact, very real. According to them, it is yet another conspiracy theory that has numerous adherents and an even greater number of believers. What's the theory's story and the role of world leaders? What do reptiles have to do with this? Take a deep breath and stay focused, because tonight we are going to celebrate. We will talk about a theory that most of you have heard of, but you may not know its origin and truth. Human reptiles. It is no longer a secret to anyone how widespread conspiracy theories are, especially in the civilized West. With every major global event, these conspiracies are back in the spotlight again. The talk lately has been about US President Joe Biden, and not because of his foreign policies, which have become exposed to the public, nor because of his election campaign, debates, or electoral project, who failed and withdrew from it or something like that. The situation is entirely different. Pat's attention is on his behavior, speech, and facial expressions. We are not the ones who do this scrutiny, but his people are. The man is, according to them, actually a robot. His speech is not normal. His unsteady movements show he doesn't blink. And according to them, there are certain individuals who teach him exactly what to say. There is no evidence for their claims beyond what they provided. And the US administration, of course. She did not accept these accusations. Supporters of the American president, they saw it as a politicization of the course of the decisive elections, distorting the president's good reputation. This reflects their viewpoint. In the end, the topic remained in the realm of theories, which no one has officially taken the time to address. But the important question that arises: did this theory originate with Joe Biden, or is there another reason? Previous events unfolded, presenting a different narrative in this context. Listen carefully. If you think Biden is the only president who was accused of not being truly human, you are wrong. Robots are not the only entities accused of impersonating actual human beings in various contexts and situations. It may even be at the bottom of the list, ahead of the most prominent leader. Humanoid reptiles or humanoid lizards. Yes, that is exactly as you just heard, human reptiles. One of the most widely discussed conspiracy theories ever. It's with a considerable number of devoted believers in it, especially in the United States of America. According to statistics, approximately 12 million Americans hold the belief that this theory is true. A surprisingly large number, as for a civilized and truly advanced country, as they often claim. Isn't that right? Before exploring specifics, let's take a moment to briefly get to know this fascinating theory. This theory says that the world's great leaders, rulers, and wealthy people, even their original celebrities, they are actually reptiles or lizards cleverly disguised as humans. These beings have visited Earth since ancient times, originating from a cluster of distant outer space planets, bearing names. And Draco, strange. Reptiles started to mix and interbreed with humans, not in the sensual sense, but by skillfully manipulating human genes and human DNA. Proponents of this theory support their view that humans, they carry some reptilian genes in their brains. Fetuses initially develop features resembling reptiles in the mother's womb, not to mention what is mentioned in the Bible. The transformation in Satan's external appearance, the serpent, dragon, and the Nephilim's union, sons of angels and humans with humans, and many more. These human reptiles have been able to reach across the centuries to the high centers of power. Tomorrow, its control over the world and its inhabitants will become a reality and a frightening matter. According to the theory, their goal is to gain complete control over the Earth and its inhabitants, and the dominance of their race, that is, the reptilian race, on this planet of ours. Really scary. Isn't that right? This theory was popularized in 1998. The book has been released. Or The Greatest Secret, by writer and former athlete David Icke, the controversial book that caused a huge stir at that time. The British government had to intervene by removing copies from circulation, stop it from spreading. Discuss this theory in detail. The author even held lectures and discussion sessions. Some events had a high number of attendees, more than 6,000 people. Clear indication. Supporters are strongly influenced by this theory. Some may think that this book, the emergence of this theory, is beginning. But it is actually much older than what you think. Specifically, this historical reference dates back to the year 1934. Precisely, listen to the story. That year, specifically in the American city of Los Angeles, mining engineer G. Warren Schufelt, a pioneer, looking for gold under the city, using a device called radio X-ray, or radio X-rays. During his research, the advanced device detected a complex series of tunnels hidden under the city, taking into account the device reading from all over the city. The skilled engineer drew up a highly detailed map for these tunnels. The tunnels were a complex maze, with numerous rooms interconnected by dark tunnels. Some are dry and others are wet. And of course, large quantities of gold, captured by the device stored in the rooms and spread in tunnels. Valuable treasure beyond all reckoning awaits. To fund the project for excavating this treasure, the engineer went to the newspapers, specifically to the Los Angeles Times, which in turn published the topic. Attached is the detailed map. The project was indeed successfully funded, and the digging began. However, as the drilling reached a depth of 250 feet, the water filled the mine. The rooms and tunnels are no longer accessible. Thus the dream of wealth is lost to engineer Schofelt. The story doesn't end here, but this was just the very beginning. As the news spread, a man named Al McLean bravely stepped forward to speak, also known as from the culturally rich local Hopi tribe. This presents an unusual testimony to enhance the engineer's story. I saw the man, repeatedly referenced. The subject of tunnels and underground rooms. True why? One legend from the local Hopi tribe. It refers to the existence of an underground city constructed around 1,000 years ago, 5,000 years, by a genus that is commonly known as what? Correct. Human lizards. Let the story spread like wildfire in the straw among the smart population, and it has been evolving since then. To date, the proponents of this theory conducted their research. They came to a conclusion that, first, the intended city does not exist. Device beneath the surface. Engineer Schofelt used it. This is a strategic planning pendulum, also utilized in the quest for locating water. Here, we must clearly point out that dowsing. It's an unrelated and unexplained process, scientifically proven so far. In this experiment, the researcher carefully passes a stick, or an iron rod or something similar, that is above a certain surface. When he feels a strong pull, he then says that he has found on his way. This is the first novel. As for the second novel, from the legends of the Native Americans, he put it different, according to these critics. There is no such story. This refers to the human lizards race, or even to the city below, land in Hopi heritage. This is first. Secondly, after searching the birth and death records, these tribes, specifically during that period, neither McLean nor Greenleaf was mentioned in the discussion. In which of them? That is, it is most likely that this particular character was invented to support the engineer's story. No more. This engineer was unaware of the full extent. Whose story will you reach and how it became? One of the most prominent conspiracy theories ever. The question that might come to mind now: how can those individuals who strongly believe in this theory show these human-like reptiles clearly, and the difference between them and among people? They claim that it is quite easy. Watch the eyes, the actions, and the shapes. Their eyes are green or hazel, and sometimes blue. It changes colors, just like a chameleon does in nature. Insightful insights. Don't blink. The hair is a vibrant, natural red color, and not artificially dyed. Their blood pressure is low, a tremendous ability to both hear and see. Human-specific superiority. Inexplicable scars. Ability to jump on electrical appliances. Love of space and science. And of course, it is accompanied by a relationship with aliens. Last but not least, ability to alter forms. Many videos of world leaders and celebrities have spread. They give them odd looks. Their eye color changed. Even their appearance noticeably transformed over time. Biden is not alone. He was preceded by former President Barack Obama, Queen Elizabeth II and her family, U.S. Senator Mitt Romney, and former U.S. Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld, famous artist Justin Bieber, and the famous artist Miley Cyrus, rapper Eminem, along with many other artists. All of them were successfully picked up together. Videos that appear in one form or another. A strange change in their forms, and their eyes and their gazes. The video clips are readily available, and anyone interested can obtain them. But is it real? Here is the explanation. Yes, these video clips are indeed real, but what appeared in it was not made by human reptiles. Rather, it is a technical glitch in the video clips, especially those specific areas that contain old video signals. Before the technological development that is common in our days, technical interference, technical glitch in the videos. Sometimes it's truly all about the lighting, the angle from which the clip is filmed. These are the explanations that were given. But did it truly put an end to the existence of this theory? Simply no. Despite the decline in talk about it, with all this technological development in photography and production. But it comes back and raises its head with every event or video, or a rumor is spreading about strange appearance or behavior to a leader or celebrity. As I mentioned before, a significant number of Americans, they think it is true. Here, psychology and its scientists come in to explain the reasons. Van Bruggen, who is a well-respected professor of social psychology, says, University of Amsterdam. People are generally willing to accept various explanations that gives them distinction by possessing secret knowledge. And thus it remains with them, feeling in control. Academic psychologist Rob Rutherton, he thinks that believing in conspiracies is an issue. It's a variable personality trait. Individual, others, and control. Psychological and social factors. The surrounding environment and others. Another perspective proposes that humans, they often have a tendency to pick their own villain. It is often an object. Non-human because we are humans. In their opinion, righteous and just and what is happening of wars. Tragedies from actions. Aliens and lizards. Thus we have thoroughly found the clear justification, according to conspiracy theorists, for all the painful events and the injustice that revolves around us. Some of them may be right because recently we have become certain that what we see today of actions, some individuals tend to be submissive and compliant to others. Their lack of influence is not an action. Monsters exhibit their defining actions without any controversy. Avoid reaching out to past humanity, or we believed we truly knew it in any connection. Isn't that right? So, my friends, this is the topic. Lizards or human reptiles. It's another intriguing conspiracy theory. Occasionally, unlocked ones make an appearance. A theory I want to download. Blame for what's going on in our world. This is for other creatures. Human, but this time, she wore human clothing in her outward appearance. People from abroad. Reptiles from within. It's like something out of a science fiction movie. Akbar supports its health, and she is afraid of the future, who she believes will become a hostage. These reptiles. Human reptiles are actively seeking control on this world of ours and its inhabitants to establish the New World Order. Seemingly, all conspiracy theories, despite their varied names and forms, it ultimately serves the interests of this mysterious regime. The question now is it reasonable that most of the world's leaders and influencers, they are humanoid reptiles? Let's see this huge amount of injustice, the crime's ugliness, all over the globe. Or are reptiles innocent of this accusation? Humans who adhered to it, to justify their actions and crimes. I won't say this time nobody knows, but we all know this for sure indeed. These tragedies. It is the product of human decisions and plans. What we hear of theories and conspiracies, it means exactly what it says. Theories, most of them, to protect their race, which will go down in history as an act of inhumanity. The spacious, it will inevitably come back to affect them sooner or later. However, days continue to reveal to us many of the secrets of this planet. As I always say, what we know is a drop. What we do not know is surrounding us. Until the curtain is finally lifted on this intriguing unknown. Until we meet again in a new chat session. Keep my friends safe. Peace be upon you.